I have a confession to make. I once abandoned my most important quest, the thing that I was focused on, my wish, and I just bailed on it. And I'll tell you why in a moment. But today we're going to look at how to figure out what you really want. Formula here is WIND, which is wish, implementation, nerve, and driving value. And for the last two lessons, the last 2 days, we focused on what your driving value is and how to discover that. But now we're going to circle back and figure out what you really want. So I'm really excited about that for today. Now, let me tell you my story though first. I had this idea that I was going to ride a bicycle around the entire Mediterranean and visit every single country. And I spent a couple of years planning for this. And I actually had someone else who was going to come with me on part of the journey, although that later fell through. I was learning Spanish and Arabic, and I already spoke fluent French. And I was reading up on the history of all the different countries around the Mediterranean, thinking about possible routes. And I was really excited to do this. And then what happened was I met the woman of my dreams. And instead of spending what probably would have taken a couple years to bike around the entire Mediterranean and quitting my job, giving up my profession, selling all my belongings in order to do that, I wound up dating, getting married, buying a house. And this is okay because sometimes I want to make the point that you can change course. And a lot of amazing, wonderful things have happened because I made that decision. The point is, don't get worried if you're afraid of commitment, which a lot of people are. Don't get worried about being too attached, being like tied down to your wish. We're going to look at choosing one today, but there is a lot of trial and error, and you can change it later on. And the truth is, you're going to have many quests and many adventures during your life. Right now, it's time to choose. What are you going to do? What is your wish? Now we're going to test it. We're going to refine it through this process called the seven gates. I recommend doing this exercise with somebody else if you can, because it's more useful if you have a back and forth dialogue with people while you do the seven gates. But if you can't do it that way, doing it by yourself is absolutely fine and it will work. Just do it in a journal. And here's how it works. So you're going to pass through seven gates and you're going to take your wish, and your wish has to go through each of these gates. And each gate, there's a test and kind of a trial and a password you have to go through in order to get to the next gate. And that question is, why? So you get to the first gate and you're going to say, let's say your wish is to go visit Paris. Okay. So you say, I want to go to Paris. And at the first gate, the person you're working with, or you can write this in your own journal, is the question, why do you want to go to Paris? And now you have an answer, and that answer takes you to the next gate. So you might say, well, because I want to visit the Louvre. Okay. So now you pass through the first gate. So now you're at the second gate and you say, I want to visit the Louvre. And the question then is, well, why do you want to visit the Louvre? So maybe you say, because I want to see the master works of all these great artists in person. I want to see the actual physical objects of their art. Okay, so you passed that third gate, and now you go to the fourth gate. And why do you want to see all that artwork and the work of the masters? Well, because I'm hoping that some of it will rub off on me. Okay, great. So you pass the fourth gate. Now you get to the fifth one. And why do you want some of that, the work of those master artists to rub off on you? And you say, because I want to be an artist. And now suddenly around gate five, and this is where it usually happens for people around gate 5 or 6, you've gotten into something deeper that you really want. You want to be an artist. So then you say, well, why do you want to be an artist? And you get to the next gate, gate 6. Why do you want to be an artist? And maybe you answer, well, because I've always felt this desire to just express something creatively. Okay, now you're getting some really deep stuff here. Now, and remember, this will all tie in with what you discovered as your driving values. Maybe you believe in self-expression or creativity as part of your driving value. So now you go to the seventh gate, and at this point, you've already revealed what you really want, but it's worth going through all seven because you never know what'll happen. And usually it's the deeper you go, the more you discover. Go to gate 7 and suddenly, well, why do you want to express this yourself creatively? And you could say, well, because I feel like I've wasted my whole life not really being me. So by the seventh gate, you've got this really intense reason. to go to Paris. And now any one of these gates, you can pick what you chose for that gate, and that can be the new thing, the new wish. Like maybe instead of being I'm going to Paris, maybe your new wish is going to be I'm going to be an artist. But the point is you've refined your wish and found out peeled the layers away from it and found out what it's really all about. Chances are you probably will go to Paris. Only when you go there this time, you're going to go there, you're going to bring a sketchbook and some really nice pencils and paintbrushes with you. You're probably going to spend less time drinking and more time actually working on your craft and studying the crafts of others. So it's already refined your thing. You're going to be a lot more motivated to go to Paris too, and you might change your arrangements about where you stay and what you do while you're there. So this is how you refine your wish, and now you have a new wish. You might just still say, I'm going to Paris, but you could also turn it into, I'm going to become an artist. And now you're going to take your wish and you're going to write it out in this form that I'm giving you right now. I am blank because I want blank. So it might be, I'm becoming an artist because I want to be the real me. Or you might say, I'm going to Paris because I want to be an artist. But anyway, you're going to write down this sentence, and this is the beginning of your wish.